Welcome back, my name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer. Not gonna lie, it's been a dry month regarding the news, but I had more and more people asking me about multiplayer and what would I like to see. So first off, we have no clue how the multiplayer is going to play out, so everything I say here is speculative and I will base my opinion going from the Tabletop RPG and also from my previous multiplayer experience. Now, I wouldn't expect the classic team deathmatch, capture the flag, etc. It's not that kind of a game, so I really doubt the multiplayer is going to only rely on that. Mostly because those modes are tied to first-person shooters and not a game such as RPG like this. Now let's go back to the Tabletop RPG. What made Cyberpunk 2020 and, Tabletop RPGs fun in general is because you play in a group. Every player has one character they control throughout the adventure and one game master who is going to narrate the adventure and lead people through it. Now, because on the Tabletop RPG game you have to calculate everything, roll a dice for this, roll a dice for that, video games on the other hand offer that experience in a different form. Damage, dodge, evade stats are calculated automatically through hit chance or critical chance. And the reason why I say this is because this could be a strong basis for the idea of having a multiplayer in Cyberpunk based on the Tabletop RPG. In general, the idea of playing those games in a group could be actually brought to the video game itself. So how would I like to see this is for the video game to recreate the magic of playing in a group, as I said, as you were playing Cyberpunk 2020, with each person having a specific role to play in the upcoming story, so in a sense it would be a co-op multiplayer. On the other hand, I spent most of my childhood role-playing in GTA San Andreas multiplayer. If you never played that, basically role-playing servers mean taking a role of a citizen in Los Santos and deciding your future either in crime or being in the police or being a medic or whatever. Just it mimics real life with laws, as I said, police, how you interact with people, how you do stuff. It's all role-playing, it's all basically making it as realistic as possible. Now in Night City there are obviously other rules, and if CDPR were to create an entire server filled with people, like for example GTA 5 does it, it would have a different meaning, but still it would be something similar to the idea of that Tabletop RPG, the idea of role-playing in that world with other people who are also role-playing, but at the same time, you also have to think about what are people going to be able to do. Are they going to shoot you just out of the blue? How you interact with them? It's all... I think it all needs to be thought out completely before it's actually implemented, which CDPR is actually doing. They want to find the best way to include the multiplayer in Cyberpunk, and they don't want to make it look forced or just there to milk more money. I mean, even in the single-player game, you will take a role, but here you will share that adventure with other people. And in my idea, each character, as I said, has a role to play, and even their own angle. Why not? Alliances are rare in 2077. And because the game will offer many activities besides doing missions, just the interaction with other people, for example, hanging out with them in bars or clubs, playing pool, even racing with cars, it would really elevate what people generally think of multiplayer and what people think of role-playing in a game like this. Because today when you say multiplayer, people expect microtransactions and stupid repetitive gameplay, but it seems we forgot how fun multiplayer was before it got filled with various, as I said, loot boxes and in-game stores. And regarding the in-game store in Cyberpunk multiplayer, people asked me if that is going to be the thing. Look, officially there are no confirmations about it. We know that CDPR is discussing further monetization, but monetization doesn't mean loot boxes. Monetization is how you earn money from your product. Like for example, I'm monetizing this video. So it really depends how they decide to distribute the game. We are still not sure if it's going to be a separate experience that you have to pay for, or is it going to be free, but just a different exe file, okay? or is it going to be included into Cyberpunk 2077? Basically, when you start up Cyberpunk 2077, there could be an option where it's like single player and also multiplayer, so it could have something with that. Also, I doubt they're going to integrate multiplayer into single player, because they said they want to focus on that solely at the beginning. So single player is gonna stay single player, so don't worry about that. They're not going to change the gameplay just because they include multiplayer. And usually when you have to run servers and you're not charging for a subscription every month like World of Warcraft does, you have to make some sacrifices. But for as long as that store is cosmetic only and the game still has cool loot to scavenge, then I honestly won't have any problems with it whatsoever. If Cyberpunk 2077 has mods there as well, it's also a huge potential for those mods to be integrated with a multiplayer experience. Imagine people making missions and even various stories that you can play through in the multiplayer or single player with your friends or alone. Big plus for that idea. So yeah, that's the multiplayer experience I would prefer in the game. Again, we shall see what devs in CDPR will come up with in the end. But tell me down below, what is your perfect multiplayer experience for Cyberpunk 2077? And as always, click that like and subscribe button if you want to be updated with the latest Cyberpunk news and discussions. Also join our growing community on Twitter and Discord. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.